Hi and welcome back to my channel. This is Rhea and I'll be continuing coloring this page from Midnight Masquerade by Hanna Karlzon, and I'm using Holbein Pencils, and as you can see I have colored the background already, so you have the idea how this glass would look like. And I'm starting coloring with sap green very lightly, coloring not the whole glass. I'm leaving some white spaces as that will be filled with white later on. So I'm still aiming for a clear glass on this yes, clear translucent glass. And so I am slightly building up layers, but I'm gonna be covering with white again to smoothen the to blend well the green tones for this one. And I'll be coloring the water, spilled water as well, so it will look like that it is reflected. um it has reflections of that green tone, and I'm just leaving the center uncolored, and I wasn't paying attention that much of putting a lot of pigment from to color this to color the water. So I'm just figuring out where the shadow should be or the darker area should be. And then um yeah, just carefully laying down the colors, and um I'm I switched to ice green, so it will turn out a little bit more colder colors, to say something like that. And as you can see, I am laying down pigments very carefully with very light pressure as well, trying to smoothen the edges that I have made on laying when while I was laying down the sap green. So I'm trying to drag the pigments to the center, but still trying to avoid to color that center. So yeah, I'm trying to create a uh, round. I'm trying to create an illusion that this glass would look like that it is round. So I'm gonna be coloring the water as well, but just very light, and still avoiding the center part for the highlights. And then I'm gonna go and add some spring green, which is the spring green. I have added this one because I've colored the other glass with very light with this kind of green as well. And with this I am carefully coloring at the middle as well. So still trying to blend very carefully. I have speed up the video since this will gonna be very light and needs a lot of patience to blend all those colors. Yeah, by this time I am covering the center part as well because the spring green is very light. It creates a little bit of yeah, great great highlights, as you can see. Now I'm using white OP 500 to blend all the colors all together. and even going laying down those white even at the middle part. So I don't mind even if I go over the lines or over the black lines, because that is what I am trying to do, to cover those black lines as well. Now it looks more smoother. I really like this white from Holbein's. Now I'm moving on to soft white, which is more creamier than the white, the regular white. And this one I'm carefully um adding the layers because this is very creamy, and this soft white tends to break um so fast. But I really like how um I really like using this one for creating those highlights, like glare, to say something like that. Yeah, glare from the glass, or sometimes with the recent colored page that I've used, I made sun rays from using this soft white. So this is also from Holbein's, but I think it's not included in a set if you buy the whole set of Holbein's, or I might be wrong. But yeah, I do buy my Holbeins open stock. So I buy more of the soft white and the white one. So um I will not worry to of not of going out of stock for this one, because I really use this a lot in my coloring. So I'm covering the black lines with the soft white. As you can see, this covers this covers the black lines, and you can leave it like that. But I'm still not I still want to cover that those black lines with gel pen, white gel pen later on. But as you can see, it's also a preparation for me when I'm covering a black line with gel pen. I want to color with soft white first, with the whole vein soft white first, so the gel pen will not be so crisp. Um, yeah, with the very harsh edges. So, but with this, it helps me make the lines even more softer. So, yeah, I skipped coloring the down part for the black lines, since those areas will have their shadows later on. I thought I skipped. I forgot, and I colored it also. Um, yeah. So that happens. Now this is the pure white, the gel pen white that I'm using, my recent favorite. You can also use Uniball Signo White or Jelly Roll, or whichever gel pen you prefer. But with this, I don't have any problems with I don't have to write on a piece of paper for them to work, unlike how I am doing with Uniball Signo White. So this gel pen white is I bought it on Sekaido, so Japan, and I have tried to look on Amazon sites and I couldn't find it. So as you can see, I'm drawing some lines going up, um, curved lines going up, to create more highlights on that part. Then I'm gonna be covering all the lines. with this gel pen. I'm creating more white lines on the shine part, so it will create more of a shiny effect. So just straight lines. Doesn't have to be perfect straight lines. So now I'm covering all the black lines, trying to hide them. I'm also covering the lines on the ice cubes, so it will look like really transparent. So as you can see right now, um it looks better without the line. Um, we're trying to create a very this water effect. I really love to color waters. I really don't know why, but it's like this excites me whenever I see water on a page. So here you can see I also cover those lines like this and that. So no black at all. But I will be adding black later on. Not black, but darker color. So yes, almost done. Now I'm going back with sap green, which is the color that we have used earlier. So for the first layer, it was a blurry layer. Which is I see which I see it really good if I make a first layer and then throw the white and then add another layer for the details. So with this, I recommend for you to let the gel pen dry first, or let it sit first on the page, or let it dry for a couple of hours. But for the sake of the video, I'm already coloring over the gel pen. But trying to I'm really careful not to erase the gel pen because it's still wet. So even if we color the lines white, that is there is it is really hard to color to make the lines green while there are really black lines. So I'm covering them with white and then coloring whichever color that I want to color. So like that, laying down gel pen white with really helps a lot for me to make um the image look nicer, or I will be able to easily color over the those black lines. I'm just brushing off some of the pigments because yeah. Right now I'm moving even more slower as I am adding all the details already. Unlike the first layer that we have laid down, I was not paying attention if I have crisp line or I miss some areas. Now, yeah. So black is the color that I have used. And yeah, I use black to add some details for the shadows to create more of that realistic, something like realistic thing for this glass. Because the black lines from this book, it will not, it doesn't look like it is, it will make, it doesn't, it will not help you make it look like realistic with those black lines. So this is kind of weird, right? There were black lines, but I have covered with white, and then again getting my black coloring the page again. But as you can see, it is really different from covering all the black lines from the book itself and then creating your own black lines. Because with this, it's more, it looks smoother and not that hard. You can also create some shadows to make the glass, to make this illustration looks like glass, a cup of glass. So I'm creating a shadow to make the glass look like the cylindrical look. So here you can see the shadows on top and the bottom of the glass and even on underneath. Um and I'm not coloring I'm not coloring it straight but trying to follow the curve of the illustration itself. So I'm now adding some shadows for the down part of the glass and some shadow for this ice cube. Sometimes I do tend to tone down the black that I just layer down and try to blend that on this and try to blend that with all the colors. Just keep on adding layers and blending, adding layers and then blending again. So now I'm going to add some shadows on the down part of the water. And now I'm um coloring the white gel pen that we have just laid down earlier. So as you can see, it looks even much better. It is smoother without that black line. Because if we have let the black lines like right there, it would be so hard to blend the colors of the water to the background itself. So I'm not adding any black shadows at the top of the water. So the light is coming from there. So most of the black colors are will gonna be at the bottom part of this water. Carefully, if I miss some of the white, I need to go back to that and cover as much as possible. Here you can see already the difference when the down part when we have added the shadows. It it looks like it's more 3D than we didn't added any black at the bottom part. So there are some areas that I skip coloring with black because that is the upper part of the water that should be left uncolored and should be with highlights. I'm creating some shadows on the at the down part of the cube eyes, extending the shadow. So yeah. Now I'm coloring over the black with chocolate and trying to blend that one on the green tones. Just take note that I don't apply any pressure, heavy pressure while I'm coloring. So I will be able to add more layers later. Unless um I'm going to burnish the page already or I'm already applying the highlights or the last layer that I'm going to do. Now I'm moving on with white, which is I want to blend the blacks, the browns, and the greens even more. So this is the this will this white works as my blender for this for coloring this page. I tend to use some other blenders. Well, it depends on the project that I am coloring, or depends on the paper that I am using. But for this one, I'm gonna be using white, Holbein white, Holbein or Holbeins. So if you're confused why I'm keep on saying Holbeins, that is how we pronounce it here in Japan. So I know for sure that in America most of you guys say it's whole beans, or I couldn't even pronounce it, but uh that yeah, I'm just saying and how I know how it is pronounced here in our country. So no problem. So if you guys doesn't know that I'm yeah, for other people that doesn't know why I am pronouncing it like that. Just a short info. So carefully blending everything. because we want to make the water translucent as well. Now moving on with soft white. With this, I'm already creating some uh, reflection or glare. I'm not sure. Um, Creating those highlights with this soft white. So I'm creating a horizontal. Yeah, I'm coloring it horizontally, adding some of highlights on the ice cube as well. And sometimes I do hide the or blend even more the darker areas if because I think I thought that it is looking like it's crisp, so I want it more a little blurry with the blurry effect. I want to look it more blurred. So I'm fast forwarding this one because I'm just adding the highlights or the reflections, but you will see here where I have putted them. Um, with soft with while using this soft white, I tend to color really slow because I didn't have any breakage for this one, but this pencil is really creamy. So most of the time I stop and sharpen it and sometimes brushing off the pigments on the page. So now going back with gel pens, adding more of those highlights and switching back with pencils with soft white and gel pen. Back to gel pen. I'm adding some strokes for the highlights for the ice cubes. Let me know in the comment section below if you enjoy coloring coloring videos like this. So I'll try to make more whenever I have time because I really I didn't saw any coloring tutorials on how they color the glass, so I've thought I should share how I do it. So if you like this kind of videos, please don't forget to subscribe and yeah, hit that not hit that bell, not bell notification, um and give this video a thumbs up because yeah, thumbs up really do help this video. So thank you so much for watching and see you on the next one. Bye and take care.